stock and time is running out.
Welcome back. Well, US President Donald Trump has provided some clarity around his controversial Gaza takeover plan, saying his proposed rebuild would not involve US troops on the ground. He's also said the region would be handed over to the US by Israel. Joining us to discuss today's headlines is ALP National President Wayne Swan and Independent MP Dai Le. Good to see you both. Wayne, I'll come to you first. It's not Israeli land to hand over, firstly, and Trump still hasn't clarified the obvious issue of displacing almost 2 million Palestinians. But the Israeli PM has praised this as a remarkable idea. Is it?
Well, no, it's not a remarkable idea. I think our Prime Minister has been quite sober and rational about this, but it is not a reasonable idea and it's not shrewd as described by Peter Dutton. He just can't resist playing party politics. The last time the Liberals did this, Scott Morrison blew up our relationship with China. So I think the Prime Minister's done the right thing, and Peter Dutton's out there playing politics and, if you like, dog whistling to the trumpets.
Dai, to Swanee's point there, I mean, Trump insists the plan will provide stability to the region. Both the PM and the opposition leader agree on a two-state solution, but Dutton has praised Trump as a big thinker. What do you make of it?
For me, I mean, whatever Trump says on the world stage, sometimes, from my perspective anyway, it's really a big thought bubble. But, you know, we are actually used to his big announcement on stage, and I think it's a way of him, I don't know, negotiating with that, or talking about solutions. But the issue, I think, here that we're missing is that Gaza has completely been destroyed. And I think, you know, I don't know how true those images we see on the television screen of people coming back to just, you know, nothing. I think there has to be a rebuild. You know, people have to come back to their home. Now, there's no home there. Those Gazan Palestinians are just homeless. And having lived through a war, it's devastation. It's devastating to see those kind of images. So there needs to be a rebuild. There needs to be a place that people can come back to and a safe haven for them to call home.
Is Trump the man to rebuild it?
Sorry, what's that?
Is Trump the man to rebuild it, Dai?
Look, you know, I think there has to be, the US has to play a role in rebuilding, you know, Gaza. I mean, Vietnam got left for destruction, so, you know, the US has to play a role.
All right, let's move on now. On another day, another bad poll for the PM. Half of voters in the crucial state of Western Australia believe Anthony Albanese doesn't deserve to be re-elected. Swanee, they're the ones who helped elect him in 2022. Could they be the ones who boot him?
Well, could I say that I don't understand that poll? I've read it and reread it. There's not a number in there about Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton at all. So it's just one of those poll headlines. I don't take it seriously.
Of course you'd say that, Dai. The PM has a big task ahead of him to convince voters,
Have a look at it. Have a look at it. No, it doesn't actually have the numbers that the headline indicates.
50% saying that he doesn't deserve to be re-elected, though.
It doesn't quite say that because there's no number in there for Peter Dutton. There's no direct comparison. There's not a single number about Anthony Albanese.
Well, he's certainly not as popular as Roger Cook, but Dai, does he have a lot ahead of him? I guess it's not just WA we're talking about here.
Few people are.
Look, I think, look, I'm not an expert in polling, but I think we know that obviously in Western Australia, state Labor is quite popular. You know, if there was a swing against them, they will still hold, you know, the power there in Western Australia. But I think, generally speaking, in Western Sydney, here in Fowler, from my perspective, the communities are still talking about cost of living, energy bills, you know, high cost of grocery bills. That will impact, obviously, the current government, the Albanese Labor Government, that they don't seem to be doing much in terms of reducing energy bills in particular for people and the cost of groceries as well.
What are you laughing at, Swanee?
Yeah, what are you laughing at, Swanee?
A heap on cost of living. It's just absolutely undeniable. Cost of living is the biggest issue, and this campaign will be about who's going to deliver cost of living. It'll be delivered by Labor, not by Peter Dutton.
Yeah, sure.
I'm so shocked.
Well, you know, they still haven't delivered. It's just a short. It's a short-term relief, really. Just another spending, giving people a rebate, but not actually fixing the problem.
So you don't support the tax cuts, Dai?
I did. I call for the tax cut. I actually call for the revised stage three tax cut. And the first year, the federal government refused to move on it, but then they did. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, guys.
They were opposed by Peter Dutton.
We have run out of time, but I'm sure this debate will continue for weeks to come. Thank you so much for joining us, Carlos.